You could have sent a carrier pigeon or something. You could have yelled from your front porch. But I'd be damned if I walk across the street and something happens across the street and I blame somebody who was in the house that I was supposed to be in. Like, bro, it just don't literally, it literally don't make sense. But for some reason, we continuously hear that statement. It was God's plan to relieve ourselves of the responsibility of doing what we supposed to do for our own lives.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lady Podcast for the Elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always say with me is the Aaron Mack. We're back in the lab a little later than usual, 9:17 a.m.
The sun up, Bob.
Yeah.
The sun up. This is very unusual for the Dirty Trump podcast. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? It's Thanksgiving Day. I don't know what you got planned, but obviously your day is going a little weird because you out in the car right now. So,
yeah,
you got family over.
Do what it do. Yeah, we up here in Baltimore. At,
okay.
Family.
Y'all traveling? Yeah. Got you. All right, so we got about 45 minutes on this podcast for somebody to call the police for suspicious activity.
Hey. But before we jump into jank, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all and we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. Mac, what you got planned for Thanksgiving?
Man, I'm hoping to just be chilling, bro. I don't really want to be doing a whole bunch of moving around and stuff like that. Like, like for real, like I ain't really trying to be out and about and all that. 'Cause, people on the road be tripping around this time of year. Police be tripping. They out here like, all right, if I gotta work, then everybody gonna be miserable. So they about to be pulling people over for going 1 mile over the speed limit and stuff. Folks gonna be drinking and stuff on the road. I ain't really trying to get into all that, man. I just want to be in the house with my girl and just reflect, man. 'Cause like people just be doing too much, man. So I'm just like, I ain't really trying to. I ain't even talking about the people on the road. I'm talking about family, all the folks, man. They just be doing too much, dog. I ain't really interested. I'm thankful, thankful for everything. Kudos to all y'all. Have your fun. I'm gonna sit in the house and I'm gonna chill, bro. 'Cause I've been doing way too much moving around for any of this stuff.
I feel that. Cause I was a little nervous cause when I suggested today, cause I was like, oh man, he got Thanksgiving told, he might wanna, but I mean, you said 9 a.m. was fine, so here we are, 9 a.m.
Hell nah. I'm flexible, dog. Like I ain't really got much going on, so like I don't necessarily tie myself down to like the traditional, just the crazy traditional stuff that we just been doing for ages. Like Alyssa told me that I needed to sit still and stop working this weekend for the most part. Like this morning I got a few things that I got going on, but for the most part she told me that this week, is dedicated to just me and her. So, I got to shut it down. I got to shut it down on holiday hours today. Got to close up shop a little early. And for the rest of the weekend, I'm probably preparing for the baby. So we'll be moving furniture and stuff for in the near future. So I ain't really getting no work done this weekend. It ain't really happening.
Oh, I feel that. You excited for December 25th? Coming.
Yeah, Christmas. I ain't really.
I'm talking about the baby, man. The baby coming.
The baby is due in January, so don't give me that. Like I don't know. Like I don't know, man. It's If the baby come on December 25th, I know Alyssa gonna be pissed because she said that she want the baby to have the baby's own holiday. So we'll see how that works. Um, we'll see what the baby want. So we'll see that.
I wonder if there is a family out there that actually had the baby on the month the doctor suggested the baby was coming.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there is. Like, I mean,
Cause
I'm pretty sure I talked to
everybody I
some
know.
people.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I talked to at least 2 or 3 people who said that their baby came within the day or so of when it was predicted.
Because I think my older brother was early. I was I was also early. Uh, and I think the youngest one was late.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, it happens, man. Like I told Alyssa, like it's just all a prediction. It ain't really
Yeah.
based on. It's
And
only based on averages. It's not based on biology. It's like
yeah,
you different from the next person. That baby different from the last baby that was born. Like it just all depend on y'all chemistry and how y'all mesh. Hell, sometimes the baby don't want to be in there. The baby just want to be out. It be 4, 5 months early, and it's like, all right, I got lungs now. I'm ready. And you know they just as normal. I mean, you see them at 23 years old, you wouldn't even know. Like, you know, they came out
facts.
quote unquote now 4 months early, and they still kicking and breathing. Like, it is what it is. Like, sometimes it happens.
That's true. Oh yeah, yeah. I know y'all are very excited about the blessings to come. You know. Uh, uh, so we kind of talked about what we're thankful for and whatnot. What we're expecting, and all this other stuff. Uh, but that ain't what this episode is about. We ain't gonna get into the traditional what we're thankful for or anything like that. Cause I seen a video relating to Thanksgiving, Christopher Columbus, and how he basically got over on the Indians. Now y'all can fact check me if y'all want to. I don't know if it's facts or not, but I heard the story. And Christopher Columbus wanted the supplies or goods, stuff from the Indians or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, no, we don't really know you like that. So why should we be giving you all our stuff? Because back in the day, Indians, they only gather uh things to survive.
Right.
Like if they were to give him these goods or whatever, they wouldn't have enough to make it through like the winters or the following seasons.
Yeah.
So Christopher Columbus and I guess his men, they needed these supplies to survive themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
he was like, hey, I know that there's I don't know if it was a solar eclipse or lunar eclipse. It was one of them. I think it was lunar eclipse because said something about the red moon.
No,
And he
that's
was like,
a
I'm gonna
a lunar eclipse.
lunar eclipse, red moon.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was like, I'm going to pray to my God because my God is powerful than your gods, and I'm going to take the moon away. He knew that this eclipse was coming up, so he warned them. He threatened them. The eclipse happened.
All right. So
Indians
hold
started
up.
freaking out.
You said it took the moon away. So I'm assuming that's a solar eclipse when the
So
sun when the moon covers the sun and
yeah,
creates the ring. Yeah, that's a solar eclipse.
okay, so solar eclipse. Uh, solar eclipse happened. Indians freak out, and then they totally believe him. They fall into his lie. They fall into his trick, and then starts the big story of Christopher Columbus coming over here. Slaughtering Indians and that whole story or whatever. But it got me to thinking how we get tripped up over stuff like that today. Maybe not that serious, but we basically enslave ourselves because of the lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
because we don't want to go
Mm-hmm.
find whatever we need to get over a problem or whatever. We seek this immediate help from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Credit cards. Oh, they're giving me money, but because I don't have the knowledge to use a credit card wisely, I get into debt.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta the interest rate is sky high. So say I get a credit card for 10,000. Once I blow through that, I owe the bank that 10,000 plus 20 more thousand on top of that, And it's just like, when do we realize that knowledge is a key to success in some form?
See, 10,000. You pay 20,000 at the end. That's literally
Yeah,
the
this is how they work.
200% interest rate. That's
I
hilarious.
mean, but
It's crazy, bro. But I'm pretty sure there's like a loan shark somewhere with a 200% interest rate if you don't pay them back in a certain amount of time. It's like, all right, so I'm gonna give you this money. If you don't pay me back within this certain amount of time, interest go kick in and it's gonna whoop that ass. So be careful. But yeah, Mark, right. I was just thinking about what you just said about Christopher Columbus, though, because like we still, for whatever reason, we still celebrate Columbus Day, and it's the weirdest thing ever. It's like literally one of the biggest genocides ever. Like, granted, the Indians fought back. It wasn't like they like he came over here and Jim Jones their ass and nothing like that. They figured their shit out. They fought back, unlike us. But that's a whole different story. Because like literally the same thing happened to the Africans back in the day too. Like the Europeans, they went over there and was like, all right, so we got a better place for you guys to live. Just come with us, and we'll show you prosperity. And they like to forget those parts of the history book for some reason. I don't know why they don't like talking about it. I guess it's just people just pushing their own agenda. So it's funny how you did that, or how you brought it in like that. Because like I trip over the fact that the tribe leaders over in Africa were selling their own people for profit over back in the day, and that's how black people came over here and became slaves. So like dudes was literally leaving Europe on their own joints. They was like, all right, so on my own advances, I'm gonna be like, fuck the queen. I'm just going over here and I'm gonna start my own joint over here. Meanwhile, we up here getting sold by our own people to go over here for profit. Just cause they bought rum, like it's like crazy shit. Like they bought alcoholic beverages, and all of a sudden they still making movies about that today. But like it reminded me of when you was talking about the Indians just now. It reminded me of well, you shouldn't call them Indians, call them Native Americans, because that's what they really are. But it reminded me of what's the damn movie, The Road to El Dorado. I don't know if you ever saw that joint, but like literally the same thing happened in The Road to El Dorado. The dudes came up in there, they were just trying to get the gold, so they were pretending to be gods. And like for real, like you just take that movie and just think about how ridiculous it is. Like this dude named Tulio came in and was like, "Yo, I'm a god now." Like he just came in and I'm a god now. Like 200 years later, you celebrating Tulio Day. Like it's the weirdest thing. Like it doesn't make no sense. And then you find out somewhere down the line, like somebody who knew the situation, they passed down the story about how ridiculous it was in the moment. And then we got to live with the fact that the whole world is idolizing this stuff right here, right now. And like that has nothing to do with what Marcus just said, other than the fact that we take information and we just run with it. We don't do no research. We don't do nothing. Like, bro, like for real, the Native Americans, they should have known. Like I ain't gonna say they should have known, but like for real, like the sun rises in the east and sets to the west every single day. So like we looking at this situation, what's covering the sun? Like, oh, this man said he gonna ask his God to do what? All right, so what is that covering? Motherfucker, is that the moon? Man, get out of here with that dumb shit, man. Like, for real, like, we know the moon is up there. We know the sun is up there. Like, what's the problem? It's like, oh, okay, your God covering it. Why is it round? What is he covering it with? Is that an eyeball or something? Like for real, like it's just we don't even question stuff. Like folks just throw stuff at us. We don't even question it, bro. Like religion, theories, logic, like nothing, bro. Like we don't even bother to ask why these things are set in place. We just blindly follow it.
And I understand, like, depending on your environment and whatnot, you say that a lot. It kind of has an effect on that because, like, no one wants to be alone, but like having those certain thoughts, having those questions of, hey, why is this that way,
Mm-hmm.
can get you hemmed up. Like, it can get you shunned from like your family and whatnot. Like you're your mom or like grandma or like grandpa,
Yeah,
whatever,
that's fair.
will bite your head off, just because, they've been doing this thing for ages, but like there's a better way to do these things, or
Yeah.
there's new information that's came out, and then you have to ask, well, why are we doing it this way? Why? Because we've been doing this for ages. It seems to work. It gets rid of the problem or the issue, and all it's doing is it's masking the problem. It's like you sweeping it under the rug. Now we got this big mountain
Mm-hmm.
because we got to overcome it, because we got to basically teach everybody the right way now, because they've formed this habit of doing everything the wrong way.
Columbus Day.
Now we gotta break those, they call them, what do they call them,
Barriers.
generational curses,
Oh yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
we got to sit there and go through each one and debunk them, and to get back on the right path,
Cigarettes.
when people are already on, like, been doing this for years, already
Oxycodone.
making millions, and right.
Vapes. Medicine. I can keep going. I can keep going. But
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Go
And
ahead. My bad. My bad.
that's interesting. You said medicine, right? Because I seen another video. I think it's a young dude just got into like the medical field or something. He saw an issue. He he understood that, all right, this natural thing counteracts skin cancer.
hmm
So if we put this natural thing and this lotion solution, put it together, he now has a product that can eradicate skin cancer.
Well, you see, Dr. Sebi
And
had a situation like that, and
yeah, yeah. People was like, "Hey, we need to protect this man. We need to make sure he is good
yeah,
every single day."
yeah.
And he is, of darker color, and he made this stuff affordable. And
Oh, he
like I said,
really poking the
knowledge.
bear. He is really poking the bear. Okay.
From knowledge, we know that that has had some very bad outcomes.
They about to primordial
So,
soup this man. They about to throw him under somewhere the whole world gonna forget he ever existed.
but like with that though, like knowing just at least like the foundation of something, or the basic chemistry of how something works, it takes you a long way. But like, we're because I guess for some reason parents have this, rule with an iron fist type mentality.
Mm-hmm.
We fall right in line, and
Mm-hmm.
we take that mindset into adulthood. Like, we get on a job tells you to do XYZ, uh do it by step 1, step 2,
Mm-hmm.
step 3, step 4. And you have situations where, like, you could do this a lot faster, a lot safer,
Mm.
take out a couple of these steps, and we don't do that. We just blindly, we come up to a job, they tell us what to do, we work it, we damn near work ourselves working this job, and we don't get any. You might have some that want to work up the corporate ladder, but still you're only getting the knowledge that they curated.
Yeah, to that point, like there are some places who encourage thinking outside the box, as long as you're successful
Yeah.
when you do so. Some people in corporate America, they really encourage that you break outside the box and you think on your own and come up with your own solutions to your own unique solutions to certain problems. However, if you fail, that's when things get a little tricky. So don't fail when you do it. Be absolutely 100% correct if you're gonna make a hypothesis to do something. But anyway, that's not the point. Reason I said that because I literally been asked that question before. Tell me about a time that you disobeyed a direct order because you believe that an outcome could be improved on, and it was a very intriguing question, and I was like, all right, I think I want to incorporate that into our business model to inspire people to think outside the box. But nonetheless, man, I come across a lot of people who, they're afraid to go outside the normal, and I had to have that same conversation with Alyssa because like we come to certain challenges, and the first thing that she does is like kind of stop and pause and like, all right, so well, if this is our plan, then if we present a problem, then maybe the plan ain't gonna work. And I'm like, all right, hold up. Neither one of us are professionals in this category. So let's outsource this knowledge right quick, and let's go find somebody else to tell us, whether we know or we don't know. We don't know until we know. And the last thing I need is to be sitting up here speculating. Like, look, trying to get a new house. So, going to the next property. Like, maybe we had to do this. Maybe we had to do that. Maybe we had to do this. I'm like, hold up. Well, let's chill out on the maybes right now. Like, I'm not interested in maybes. What I'm interested in is the person who is professional at what we're trying to get accomplished, telling us what we need to do. I want to know the professional's opinion. Like, I don't need to know maybes. Like, okay, you got a medical condition. Maybe maybe this is happening. Maybe that is happening inside our body. Like, no, I'm not interested in the maybes. What I'm interested in is the facts. Like, we can ignore all the maybes. What I want to know is the facts. And like people, what I'm seeing people do, they are ignoring the fact that there is a higher level of understanding to the things that they're going through, and that is the reason why we end up in some of these certain situations. Like, you hear some of the folks who talk about the stuff that they've been going through in their lives, and it's like, yo, you are right there, you are stuck right there because you are not reaching higher to understand this problem. And you keep going through the same problem because your level of understanding is what's getting you to this certain problem. And that's why this problem keeps happening. So, like, I'm trying to understand why folks, like, why they turning their tails and running. Like, it's a very complicated, challenging situation. But instead of doing the right thing, you just doing the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because to put it in like a very simple form, right? Used to date this girl who would get these headaches, and I noticed that when my younger brother at a time, when he didn't eat enough, like eat breakfast or whatever throughout the day, he would get a migraine.
Yeah.
So, go to school, meet up with my girlfriend. She was my ex at the time. She's complaining about this headache day
Right.
in, day out, complaining about this headache. And I'm like, what did you have for breakfast? Nothing. It was either nothing or like something sugary.
small.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
you done burned through that. Now your body wants more fuel. Like,
Yeah.
what you doing? Eat breakfast, goddamn. And it for some reason, I guess it's because it was coming from me. It wasn't clicking.
Oh yeah.
And then
absolutely. You're a guy. You're a guy. You can't tell women what to do, man. It's not how that works.
And one time, She actually told me one day that she ate breakfast and she was like basically fine the entire day, and I was like, you see what happened here, right? When you eat, when you're supposed to eat, your
Okay.
body has fuel to, but people will have issues like that, and like you said, they won't they they do nothing, or they do something that's like totally counteractive or something,
Hmm.
like take a pill or something.
Yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah. You start with the
right?
ibuprofen, the Tylenol, and all that other stuff like that.
Hmm.
Going to the doctor for migraine medication and stuff. The migraine medication causes bowel degradation. That's then
Hmm.
you start another problem. But we can skip all that. We skip all that.
And I'm like, when do we get to a point where we stop doing that? We actually do a self reflect. We're like, look, all right, this is how my day is set up. This is what I do in the morning. This is what I do in the evening. This is what I do at night. When the next day comes, I'm feeling terrible.
Hmm.
So what do I have to change in the morning, evening, or night to make sure my next day is better than yesterday? Like, why aren't we on that? That's literally what we be preaching, and like people don't be on that. Like people start their day. Now, granted, I at least eat. I will start my day with an energy drink, but I ain't heavy with it. I know my limits. But like people be out here constantly, putting their body through the ringer, having these headaches, having these problems, and there's no downtime to just sit there and be like, all right, how can tomorrow be better?
Yeah.
How can what do I need to change? What do I need to learn? What do I need to start prepping the previous day so my tomorrow can be already ready and stacked to go and have this great, amazing day?
Yeah, man. And that kills me about our people sometimes too, man. Cause like, we all seen soul food. Like every black person, I don't think there's a black person alive that ain't seen soul food, bro. Like, but however, with that being said, I've never seen a movie. And thank Boondocks for pointing this out to me. But I've never seen a movie where the thing that's celebrated in the movie kill one of the characters and all the other characters just keep doing it. I've never seen that before, but for some reason, Soul Food went there. And this is just specifically how black people cook their food in general. Like, we got passed down the scraps. I understand that, but like for the most part, like we continuously feed our body scraps. Like we continuously cook food in the most unhealthiest ways. And like I
Yeah.
mean, granted, I can't speak for everybody's household. I just know where my household, like the one that I grew up in, it was completely unhealthy. I mean, I had never had a crunchy vegetable until I was grown, Mark. Like a full grown adult. Like I didn't know that vegetables was supposed to be crunchy when you bite into them. I didn't know they was supposed to still have a shape when you bit into them, bro. Like I ain't even lying to you. Like I'm not even joking when I say that. Like in my family, like broccoli, like broccoli's still supposed to have a crunch when you bite into it. Like, did you know that? You knew that, right?
Yeah, fresh broccoli and uncooked broccoli.
No, no, even cooked broccoli, like it's still supposed to have a crunch when you bite into it. It can be hot, it can be warm, but it still has to have a crunch to it when you bite into
Oh,
it.
come on.
I ain't never know that. I thought that it had to be cooked down, and that joint had to be like falling apart. It had to be like mush. You could eat it with a spoon. It had to be loaded up with salt and butter and cheese. Like I thought
Hmm.
that was the way to eat it. And I come to find out, like, your carrots. When you bite into a carrot, your carrot ain't supposed to melt in your mouth. In fact, you can eat it like that, but it has absolutely no nutritional value when you do that. Like I didn't know that, bruh. Like
Yeah,
it took me until I was an adult to figure that out. Like literally 21 years old, I'm going to somewhere and I'm like, yo, why is the food like this? And they looking at me like, yo, what you talking about? Like that's how the food is supposed to be. And I'm like, yo, no, like when I'm at home, bro, my mom don't make it food like that. No. Well, I'm granted, it might taste good. They telling me like, yo, it might taste good, but like when you cook it down that much, the nutritional value is gone. So it don't even make no difference if you eating collard greens, you eating collard greens, but like them joints like a soup when you eat into it. Like it's like you can slurp them joints up like noodles or something, and like you ain't even gotta chew them jokers. Like and then it's loaded down with salt and a ham hock. Like for real, like yo, we are the prime suspects of doing things that are destructive to us with absolutely no purpose and don't ask no questions about our own health. When folks tell me that that diabetes running their family, I want to slap the taste out their mouth, Mark. I ain't lying to you, bro. I just want to slap the shit out of them every single time I hear that, dog. I'm like, yo, I don't think you understand. Like, diabetes is not hereditary. Like, granted, like, yo, there are some people who might be susceptible to catching diabetes a little bit faster because of their genetic makeup. But like, bro, diabetes is not genetic, dog. Like, it's not like you born with diabetes because you got a parent with diabetes. Like, that's not how that works. What does run in your family is a bad diet. Like, let's start there.
Yeah, that's what they should say.
What does run in your family is a bad diet. Like, it's like, yeah, my mom had that disease. I'm like, yeah, but how many recipes did you take from your mom? Like, bro, and you know, rest in peace, man. But my old man, like, my mom told me something recently. She made something, and Mark, I looked at her and was like, R.I.P. to my man. Aaron Mack Sr. My mom told me something recently about my man that, like, cause she made something and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna have to turn that down. You know, it was one of her specialty dessert items. You know, she did Ma, I ain't gonna lie to you, dog, it's fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. The banana pudding, boy, with the homemade banana pudding with the cut up bananas in it and the vanilla wafers on top with the homemade whipped cream and the cherries and the walnuts. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's fire, straight fire. And she was like, go ahead and take as much as you want. And I was like, I'm gonna be real with you, I don't want nothing but a spoonful. She was like, what are you talking about? Nah, take more than that. Like, she got like the biggest, this thing like the biggest foil aluminum tins joints, the what you call those things, the serving trays or whatever. The big aluminum joints, just think of the biggest aluminum joint you can think of, like the biggest and the deepest joint that you can think of. She made it in that joint. Had 2 of them, bruh. I don't know who she making it for. Ain't nobody living in the house but her, but she made 2 of them joints. And I'm like, yo, what it? Not a holiday or nothing, ma. Just a regular ass weekend in October, like just random. I'm like, what is happening here? So she offered me some. Alyssa was like, "Nah, I don't want none." Alyssa usually loves sweets, so she stayed away from it. I was like, I know I need to follow suit because you know, she used to be before I came along. She used to be, you know, she looked a certain way. You know, body was responding a certain way, but you know, so she stayed away from it. I know I need to follow suit. So, you know, I was like, I'll take like a spoonful, you know, I'll get like a little bowl, but like I ain't really about to be crushing that. Like, I know I'm gonna get myself in trouble. And I ain't gonna feel good tomorrow if I take all that. So she was like, she I guess she got offended. And she used to tell me, she was telling me like, your dad every time I made this, he used to tear it up. Like, he would sit down and eat all of it. And I'm like, and I thought about it and I'm like, yo, Ma, I don't mean no harm, but had my man not did that, he probably wouldn't have died of cancer. And she was like, nah, they ain't had nothing to do with that. I'm like, actually, your diet has a lot to do with that. Like you can't just be scarfing down anything that. And I was like, he did that a lot. Like he used to just open face like a whole bunch of sweets like that, like all the time. And she was like, yeah, he used to. Yeah, he was doing that all his life, and I'm like, I don't think you understand. Like this diet thing is, that thing is real. Like it ain't just, it's not just a suggestion like the speed limit. Like you know, like they just say, okay, well we recommend you do this. It's like, but you know, if you don't do this, it's fine. But you know, you can just live a normal, healthy life. No, that's not how that works. But bro, like I ended up offending her, and I ain't really know how to come back from it. And I was like, yo, for real, like I'm not even about to apologize for this, because like this is not, it's not right. Regardless of how we look at it, it's not right to do something that your body is not supposed to intake. You know what I mean? So like we need to get the information about this stuff, because like the reason I bought up soul foods, because like, yo, Big Mama died of diabetes and heart failure. In the movie, she died of diabetes and heart failure. But fried chicken was on the table that Sunday when they were celebrating her life. I'm like, yo, how disrespectful.
Yeah, and it's it's crazy how rampant that runs through the black community, and I'm not gonna say it's hard to change, but we've gotten so accustomed to it that it is slightly difficult to change. Uh, I will never forget this trip. I don't know why we went there, but I think it was like a church trip or something. We
Mm-hmm.
went to this Amish place. Uh, they were having cooked food that they probably grew themselves. Everything's
Mm-hmm.
natural. Bruh, I took one bite of that stuff, and like my body was like, "What is this? Don't put this in your mouth ever again." It would I couldn't eat it. It
Yeah,
didn't taste
it's
right.
weird,
Didn't
bro.
feel right. It was some memory was like, "Yo, no."
This ain't right. This ain't cooked,
You need to go to McDonald's or something, but whatever this is on your plate, nah, fam, we ain't used to that. We don't like that. No.
bruh. I ain't lying to you. Like some folks in my family, dog, they eat their rice like oatmeal, bruh. Like I ain't lying to you, dog. They make rice for some, bruh. It's cream. It's cream of rice. It's cream of rice, like literally, like milk, everything, bruh. They make it like oatmeal, dog, and they eat regular rice, like rice is supposed to be cooked, like in Chinese food. For some reason, it was weird though, right? Chinese food rice is
Mm,
okay, but white rice, like say you get like a rice bowl from Chipotle or something, the rice ain't done.
mm,
How that work?
yeah. I, the way it's cooked, I guess I don't know. But like, it all boils down to uh, you got this one life to live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're living it, and in your 20s and your 30s, you're going to your 40s and so forth and so forth, and you have to look back and realize, hey, I'm still in the same spot. I'm I can't walk up a flight of steps without being out of breath.
I
I
can't spend
can't
$10 without dreading my life or making a life decision.
facts.
I just wanted to make sure that we stay on the fact that like this is a general thing and not just about the food piece.
Like it's in everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can't spend money the right way. You can't live how you want.
Mm-hmm.
And all it takes is just taking a step back. All right, I need to I need to tighten things up right here. I need to
Mm-hmm.
lessen this up right here. I need to lessen this salt intake, this sodium intake. I
Mm-hmm.
need to lessen my spending on things I don't need. Like you're spending money on these gas station snacks because it's right there in your face. You grab it real quick, and you just spent $10.
Mm-hmm.
and you do that through the week, you wasted $70 plus the fast food that you're getting on the side because you ain't cooking at home.
Mm.
You just wasted
Plus,
$100
and in addition to the grocery shopping that you still doing with the
going grocery shopping.
with the food that you wasting because you getting fast food.
Yep, you ain't cooking at home, so the food goes bad. Especially fruits. Fruits don't last worth a
Know what I'm saying?
crap.
Know what I'm saying?
And then you wasting money because you don't know how to look at things and be like, all right, I need to learn how to be tight with my money, be more healthy with my diet.
Mm.
I need to learn how to do these things, cook this certain way, live this certain lifestyle, spend below my means, and then I could put myself in a better position to invest here, start this. I got more energy to work harder on something that I want to do after work. It's that simple. Like I'm saying it, and yeah, doing it would be a little different than saying it, but
Yeah.
still, why we ain't seeking this knowledge? Why are our people just out here? Mama did it, grandmama did it. They, like grandma was hooked up to oxygen for a
at,
good portion of her life.
at 42.
Grandma was 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 hunchback, you know. Grandma only was there the why you can get over on grandma because grandma
Grandma ain't even
she
about to
won't out
chase
here
you.
whooping like that in
Can't
heydays,
can't even get up,
right? She
bruh.
won't whip and tail like her heydays.
You speaking my life right now, bruh. Like real talk. That's literally how my household was growing up, dog. Like my grandma was on oxygen my entire life up until she passed away. Um, you know, uh, at that point, like up until like I think when I was born, my grandma was still smoking cigarettes, bruh. She was like early 60s, bruh. Like I'm like, yo, how is this even? And then, my mom, she smoked cigarettes, and I'm like, how do you not, like, straight up, like, and it was weird, right? Because it's like, even when the information is thrown at us, we still don't, like, it can be scientifically broken down in front of us, but because we ain't ready to change, like, oh man, it's so strange, because, like, when my grandma was diagnosed with COPD, and they told her that if she continues to smoke, she gonna mess around and die. Like she gonna have a lung failure, and she's gonna mess around and die. There's nothing that they can do for her if that happens. She would mess around and have. Are you still there? Or are you frozen? Oh, okay,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, eyes moved. All right. But they told her at the hospital, they was like, yo, like she had a little scare. They rushed her in, and she couldn't breathe, like, almost like she had anaphylactic or something. And they got her good or whatever. And it was like, look, you've been smoking for years. I understand, it's a hard habit to break, but if you don't break this particular habit, it's gonna break you. Like straight up, they told her like you gonna die if you mess around. And it's like not only that, in addition to that, now that we brought you back and you're not going to die, now you can't breathe on your own, and now you're gonna have to use this oxygen tank for the rest of your life. And if you don't use this oxygen tank, you're gonna die. So like you might as well just go ahead and I don't know what you're gonna do. And it's like, okay, and then if you do smoke while having this oxygen tank, it's gonna explode. So you're gonna die. Like so either way, you're gonna have to get rid of smoking. Hey, if the people smoking around you, you're gonna have to get rid of them too, because if they come smoking around you, you're gonna die. So like straight up, like, hey, look, I promise you, all of her kids, all of my aunts, uncles, the ones that were smoking, all of them were talking about, yeah, mama need to stop smoking. They told her she was gonna die. Like, what? I'm like, yo, how does that even logically make sense to you, bro? Like my mom, and look, check this out, bro. My mom smoked up until they diagnosed her with COPD. Right after the same thing that happened to her mom, and now you on an oxygen tank too. Like history repeated itself. You saw your parents do it, and you thought it was okay, so you kept doing it, and now reality came back to strike you as well, and now nobody want to answer to their mistakes, and now it was all of a sudden it was just meant to happen, bruh. Here's what I'm getting tired of, and I don't know if this happened in other communities or not, because I ain't really been that deep in the other communities, because like I just haven't been around it like talking about, or I didn't grow up in it like talking about. But what I'm getting tired of hearing in our community, bruh, is that it was God's plan for that to happen. I'm getting tired of that, bruh. Like I'm done with that statement. Like I can be religious, I can be spiritual, like all that's fine and dandy, but like the next person, like bruh, I'm not even about to sit up here and say like, bruh, you walked across the street, and then the house across the street blew up. Like you just happened to be over there, and the house across the street blew up. It wasn't nobody's fault but yours. Like you were over there. You had no business over there. You could have called. You could have sent a carrier pigeon or something. You could have yelled from your front porch. But I'd be damned if I walk across the street and something happens across the street and I blame somebody who was in the house that I was supposed to be in. Like, bro, it just literally don't make sense. But for some reason, we continuously hear that statement. It was God's plan to relieve ourselves of the responsibility of doing what we supposed to do for our own lives.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's honestly, I don't know why the tobacco company is still popping to the day.
Because in America, if it can be
So,
purchased and it can be sold to capitalize on for capital gains, it will be. That's the country we live in. That's why the tobacco companies are still able to exist, because in reality, they're not doing anything wrong. They just packaging the shit up in a little paper sleeve and they selling it to you. It don't matter what they put on it, as long as the chemicals that they put on it is legitimate and is FDA approved. The same chemicals that they putting on it is in our food, so there's nothing wrong with it. It's food grade stuff.
crazy. But yeah, like Mike said, like it's a constant cycle that we keep putting ourselves through, and it's not gonna break until we break it. Like if you're listening to this, like it starts with you. Like I don't know what you have to go through to get to that lifestyle that you want, but it's all a part of just learning it. Get what I was listening to, but they said people keep trying to uh, plan their life. I think it was plan their life to get the lifestyle they want, instead of planning the lifestyle and adjusting their life to fit that plan.
Yeah.
It's like you're working backwards.
Yeah.
Like you guys are trying to live this lavish lifestyle while you don't have the means for it. You don't have the health, the money, the knowledge, the mental capacity to live on that level, and you guys aren't bringing yourself up to it. You're trying to do everything to pull it down. And it's not working. Like we see it time and time. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Y'all are gonna have to make a plan, make it plain, and just make it happen. Like learn what you need to learn. Buy the course, listen to the podcast, listen to the skill share, whatever you need to learn to elevate yourself. Learn it, figure it out, learn it. We're doing the same. Uh, we've been through, just small stuff like HelloFresh, like Mad Cat Books. Um, we've been on those journeys, and we've seen when I was doing keto, like I had ample like energy out the butt. Like I was ready to work overtime when they won't even offering. I was
I
like,
lost a gang of weight in
yo,
the process too.
I facts, and I was like, it won't nothing hard. It was basically the same food that we already cooked. It was prepared different.
Yeah.
It was a lot of what was it uh squash, the, what's that thing it looks like a cucumber but not a cucumber.
Zucchini.
That's squash. Zucchini. It was a lot of foods like those stuff that had water in it, so I didn't have to like natural like just water, like
Yeah, I
heavy
got you.
water or whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't need to intake water a lot. Like I felt better. I was sleeping better. I was more active during the times where I would hit that wall and you're like, all right, then push through, then push
Yeah.
through. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
All because of a diet change.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, it's out here. It's just it's easy. Like if we're doing it, it should be no excuse. Like I know there's people out here making a little bit more money than we do. They got a little bit more access to finer things.
Yeah.
Because I live in the country. It ain't nothing for 20 minutes north and 20 minutes south. It's a drive to get to a mall. Like closest thing to us is like your local WalMarts. That's all we got. But if we're doing it, I guarantee y'all somewhere, if y'all in the city even, y'all definitely could probably do this in y'all sleep.
But and I hate to. How much time you got, Mark? Because I don't want.
A little bit more time. Nobody really calling me for nothing. So
All right.
what you got?
I'm trying not to. I'm gonna try not to extend it for too long. But like just to piggyback on this conversation a little bit, bro. You just said something about the financial means to get something done, and like for real, like as we discuss this whole understanding of things, understanding the big picture, because I think that's the problem. Like you don't really understand the overall reason behind certain things. Like yo, for real, I came across a post recently that said no amount of saving or penny pinching is going to change the fact that we don't make enough money. And like you just said something about saving, Mark, and I promise you, like I ain't really trying to undermine what you're saying, dog. But I ain't Dave Ramsey, dog. I ain't feeling the whole saving shit, bro. Like I'm just like for real, I don't make enough. So whatever we need to do to make enough, that's what we did. That's what we got to get on. Like we need to figure out how to make enough. And like you said, the quote that you just said about formulating your lifestyle to fit the life that you want, the life that you desire. Like that's something that we need to do. Like yo, for real. Like is the person that you trying to be, the person that you want to be, the person that you see yourself being, is that person saving up and penny pinching? Like for real, that's the question you got to answer. That's the real question that you got to answer yourself. So like, if for real, if the person that you see yourself being is penny pitching and saving money, stashing money to the side, trying to build this emergency fund, because we know that shit don't exist because life is emergency. Like there's the emergence to life. Like literally everything is urgent when you live life. When you wake up in the morning, everything is urgent. So emergency fund, I don't know what that is. That's, that doesn't exist right now. Nor will it ever, unless you make enough money in order to put aside for an emergency fund. Like if you don't make the money, there's chances are you're not going to be able to do that. So what I recently saw, man, and I'm just like, and for real, nobody really had a problem with this. But for some reason, like it kind of ate at me, because I'm like, yo, once again, I put myself in this environment where there's people doing this dumb shit thinking that they're getting away with it. Like My man, and I ain't gonna say my man's name, but he an older dude, been working at my job forever, and he's been trying to cheat the system for the longest time. This man's been coming in before the shift start, like he'll clock in like an hour before the shift start, just not really doing much, just just chilling on the clock, pretending to work. He's been getting by with that for a long time. He got some financial problems that he got himself in, and like he just been for the most part just kind of skating by on that. And recently he decided that I'm going to take this thing a step further. And it's tomorrow, right now, tomorrow as we record this is Black Friday. And right now our job is doing a whole bunch of mandatory overtime. So I guess he decided that, I'm already doing overtime. So let me kick this thing up even further. Let me do even more. So he decided that he was going to do some at home training, the online training joints that they got, to try to get a little bit more money, try to squeeze a little bit more money out of it. So, with that being said, my man did it on his day off, and they hit him up on one of his work days and was like, so you've been working for this many days straight, because they counted as a day's work. They said, you've been working this many days straight, and we cannot allow you to work this day. You got to go home. And then not only that, you're going to miss out on your overtime money, and you're going to miss out, and you're also going to use your unpaid. You're also going to use your unpaid time because that was unauthorized, and this is on you. So I hope he ain't have high hopes for that money. I'm just saying, I hope he ain't have high hopes for that money. I hope everything good. However, it was a decision that was made based on a lack of financial literacy. And when you have a lack of literacy in something, you make desperate moves. Like literally, like think about it. In any category of life, you have a literacy towards something, you're desperate for an answer. When an emergency happens, that emergency fund flies right out the window because now you're desperate to figure out a solution to a certain problem. So go ahead. I know you got something for that, Mark.
That first of all, that's crazy. I didn't even know. I've heard something similar of the job doing that, making like somebody use their own time for something that they were trying to do to get over on the job.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't know they could do that. That's wild.
They just don't have a contingency to help you out in that manner. They're just like, this is what our plan for you was, and you tried to make your own plan. We got a conflict of interest here.
That's true. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right. So, I've seen this happen many times before. Like, usually it's kind of targeted to like older people, or like you said, people that are that don't have the literacy to see past that. But like that's basically where your scammers come in, and they prey on people that don't have that literacy, and they'll come up to you and they'll give you a solution to a problem, and it's a quick solution. All right, you give me this lump sum of money, I put it in this account, flip it, and we get back.
This rich uncle who I inherited $50 million from, but I just need your route number and account number.
And it's like, yo, it's like it's happening today. Like you'll get emails, text messages about something like that. Hey, and they have your information. Like not like your information. Like they could. I watched that video that you shared about the whole marketing thing, about how they see what you're interested in, and they'll use that. they'll dangle the carrot in your face. All right, you've been looking at this, so you must be having financial issues. All right, we got you pre-approved for this loan or
Mm-hmm.
for this loan sum of money. We can loan you this money, and then all you have to do is make this one payment uh for the rest of the month, and then that's it. But somewhere it's gonna get jacked up, or if it is an actual scammer, you give them your banking information, and boom, you in more debt. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when are we gonna realize that doing the same thing that got me in this problem is not gonna solve my problem?
Talk your talk, bro.
Especially with this banking stuff and this money. Like, I, you take out a loan to pay off a credit card that you done maxed out, but I'm like, you still got the loan that you got to pay back.
All right, so check that out. Like, I understand that, but it just depends on how you do it, and, and there is a way to do that wrong, but it don't make sense when the loan that you take out has the same interest rate as the credit card. That's the only
Exactly.
time. Like, so when the interest rate is lower, you use it to pay off credit cards, because we've done that. So that's why I'm just like, that makes sense, transferring the finances. So like, it makes sense because if my credit card is a 24% interest rate and I got two of them jokers, that's 50% interest rate on the money that I'm paying. So this loan over here only got a 4% interest rate. So
But yeah, all right. So with that, if you're just focusing on paying something off, cool. But like, you're still spending like you were when you maxed out that credit card.
that's a problem. That's problematic. Yes, absolutely.
I'm like, you ain't changed nothing, but where you
Ain't
got
not changed but the day. No new knowledge, no new habits. You're right. All right. I don't want to make sure we clarified that for somebody who was like,
Yeah.
Dirty Trump podcast said don't do that like that. Dirty Trump podcast said go ahead and continue paying 50% interest rate on this credit card. It's okay. It's fine. I'll get there eventually. Make more money. Yes. I got it. Yeah, I feel that.
We go through cycles like this, and I'm like, yo, just take a step back. Let's just take it. This is why we need an extra day in the week, so people can everything shuts down on this day, and people just take a step back.
No, Mark. Cause I feel where you going with that, but bruh, like let's not sit here and act like most people wouldn't just use that joint to be like, I could work an extra day a week to make more money.
What you saying?
I feel you, because if we had an extra day of the week and like that joint was like a mandatory off day, bruh, I would be like, shit, everything shut down on this day, bruh. I would get so much done, fam. Telling you. Yeah, man. But I wanted to throw that story out there because, like, yo, folks don't really understand. Like, yo, finances is literally the one thing that will keep your life in a chokehold. And it ain't really that deep.
Yeah.
E.T. said, and I ain't understanding when he said it. E.T. said, that's E.T. the hip hop preacher. For those of you who don't know, that I'm an avid fan of S2S podcast, Secret to Success podcast. This man said only the middle class struggles with finances as much as they do. He said, if you think about it, poor people don't have no concerns about money. Only thing they focus on is where they stand at, where they getting their next meal. Poor people, they focus on those two things plus some. They focus on how to keep the house, focus on when they next check gonna come, focus on how to make it to the next paycheck, focus on everything in between, how to afford a lifestyle, how to afford the kids, how to afford school, how to afford to get to work, how to afford gas to get to work. Like he broke it down. It's like poor people, or broke people is what he was saying. Like he was saying, like broke people, like the middle class folks. He said middle class people, they focus on like all of that stuff. Broke it down, right? And he said, since I become rich, I realized that none of that stuff even mattered. He said, I get into certain spaces and everybody know who I am. Everybody know what I've done for the world. And I only had to pay for nothing most of the time.
Mm.
He said, I go to certain spaces and people pretty much pay for them. Just like, yo, you E.T. the hip hop preacher, man, love what you did. You dap him up, go on about the business. It's like the man just paid the whole tab. It's like 10 people here, fucking check of like $300, $400, $500, and my man just came and dapped me up because he know me, paid the whole bill off and just walked away. I don't even know my man's name. He said, like, for real, like broke people don't have to deal with it. Like rich people don't have to deal with this stuff. He said the only people who deal with money in the way they do is the middle class. The middle class is the one with the jobs. They struggling to buy everything and struggling to keep it all at the same time. Literally, the only reason why we go through half of the stuff that we do is because we are the middle class who are doing the exact same thing. We're struggling to keep it and we're struggling to get it all at the same time. But at a certain point, it becomes a conflict of interest. My interest is I want to grow in life. But if your interest is you want to grow in life, but you're also interested in staying where you are in life, what growing are you expecting to happen is the question there. I'm done. Talk your talk, man. I'm done.
All right.
That's it.
What we got coming up for the people, man? I know it's a holiday season, so we're gonna be with
I'm
family.
working. I'm
Are
working.
you working?
I'm working. I'm in here. I got at least at least about an hour and a half before the questions start coming in. Like, all right, so time to wrap it up. I got about an hour and a half. Probably take a quick lunch break or whatever, because I've been up for a while. So like, you'll probably do a quick lunch break or a breakfast break. I don't know what to call it at this point. Brunch.
Call it a brunch.
It's only
You had breakfast yet?
10:30. Yeah, kinda. Had a bagel and a cup of coffee. but yeah, man. I'm gonna work for the rest of the day. I'm really trying to expedite this process of getting book one finished, man. I added a good chunk of the word count in, but you know, as typical AJ McMullen fashion, I found a way to shoot myself in the foot by adding more detail. So, you know, I put it like this: like, I'm at a part in the story. Like, the story is pretty much the same, but the part that I'm at is like is chapter 17, and I realized a few last night that in the original book this same part was on like chapter 6. So just to give you a good indicator of how much detail I added into this book. I'm assuming that where I'm at with this in the chapter that I'm currently writing is, you know, like, I'm probably way over the word count of where I was when I wrote the original book. So needless to say, if I use the current book in this current form, NaNoWriMo was completely done, but you know, I'm still working on that as well. But I'm about halfway through the goal. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm still trying, but I don't know if it's gonna work this time around. I might have to forfeit, but we'll see how the weekend goes. So, I think I said something about moving furniture for the baby, but you know, I'm slow rolling it, man. I ain't got much going on, dog.
Hey,
What about
at
yourself?
least you're right. I think at least you're right. Been going ham on the whole I don't know what to call it. Like, what is it in this whole? Because I've been doing a couple of stuff. Like I said before, just trying to get down the fundamentals down with Blender. You know, I got this whole YouTube playlist queued up of like just stuff about Blender. Sorry about that. Okay, whole YouTube list, playlist of like stuff about Blender and
Mm-hmm.
Grease Pencil, just trying to get the fundamentals down of that stuff. So I could just like get in there one day and just like let my imagination just run wild
Yeah.
and do something crazy in there. Um,
I can't wait to partner up with
that's
it, man.
about
Got
it.
a lot of work for you to do, bro. Got a lot of stuff for you to practice with.
I'm ready. I want it. I want it. I want it all.
Same,
I'm
bro.
getting there.
I can't wait. I think about it all the time. I'm like, yo, all these people out here getting it, they putting in work with other people's product. I'm like, yo, that's all fine and dandy. Glad your reimagination of Super Saiyan 15 Goku is it looks sweet, but you know I can't wait until you know we got that cohesion. We moving forward with some of the Morton's Castle stuff and the Aether Universe stuff, and I can't wait, dog. I think about it all the time.
But after, uh, we'll talk about after podcast.
Yeah, yeah, gotcha.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Dirty Chunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It's me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is D. Aaron Mack. Before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. We just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next.